Hello all, let us see some of the major differences between the linear regulator and the switching regulator. So for the beginners to easily understand, we do not want to go into the details of electrical circuits and explain what is happening internally. So to start with a very high configuration, so what we did here is took the circuits of a simple LDO and a switcher, both from Texas Instruments. So this on the left, what we see here is TPS7802, which is a linear regulator. The device that is shown here is nothing but an IC, and then on the right you see a switching regulator, which is a TPS62810. If you see both of them straight away, the feel is that, or the understanding basically is that the right side circuit looks complex from the connectivity perspective, complex from the component selection perspective, complex from the calculations that are involved, whereas on the right you just see only two external components and the respective supply and the load that are required for this device. So the selection involves only two. And one more point to mention here is most of the LDOs, we generally do not select the input and output capacitors if we meet the test requirements that are done by the vendor. Suppose if a vendor mentions a specific capacitance to be used for a given loads, and there isn't too much variation of load at any point of time, we use the capacitances that are suggested by the vendor. But if our circuit demands different requirements, that goes into little bit of calculations to calculate how the LDO need to, the capacitances need to be selected. If you go to the switching regulator, this involves more of the component selection and the inductor calculation, and then the PWM switching that is required. So we will talk what is required for a switcher and its internal configuration in the next slide, but you can see all these calculations are involved. So the first understanding of this is that switching regulator is a complex design, linear regulator is a very simple design. Now moving to the next slide, from the same power supplies devices, on the right is the LDO, on the left is the LDO, on the right is the switcher again. The same device, TPS7802 and TPS62810. So if you see the left device, you can see that there is only one pass element, and then the output is taken back and it is provided, the feedback is taken and provided to the error amplifier internally to the positive terminal, and then the correction is made to the pass element. So a very simple design where between the input and the output there is only a pass element which is controlled and there is no other control that is involved at any point of time. So very simple design, and all the power dissipation handles in the is going to happen in this series pass element only. This is a series pass element. Now if we come to the switching regulator, if you see at a very high level, it looks like there is a gate drive and then only one series pass element is there, but that's not the case. If you understand, like, you can just go back to the basic buck regulator operation, and you can just type a wiki which shows the inductive and then the switch elements where they need to be placed. So but we do not, as we told, we do not want to go into the actual electrical things. We just wanted to give you a high level explanation between this. So if you see here, so these involve switching of this MOSFET the right side MOSFET which is connected in parallel to the SW, and then there is a pass element definitely. So now it involves basically a PWM that is being generated. That is what the control does here, and switches the PWM, and the output would be in a controlled manner based on this PWM. So switcher majorly involves PWM related switching to get the output, whereas linear regulator is a controlled way of giving output to a pass element. So at one point we can say the input and output are in short with respect to linear regulator. If you see the actual configuration of the LDO, even though they are not directly short, the actual understanding or the way it is understood feels that way. Whereas in the switching regulator, the output is majorly depending on how we are switching the MOSFETs, and then the rise and fall of the output are properly maintained or not. So a typical scenarios here, the right side looks very complex, the left one looks very simple. Now let us actually see the major differences between them. So if you see the LDO and the switcher, LDO definitely, as we said, there are very low component count that is involved, so it's a cheaper solution definitely, whereas switcher is a costly solution because you should have all the inductors and respective elements that are outside. So there are some regulators where this MOSFET, this is called a switching element MOSFET, which is connected in parallel to the SW. So this MOSFET would be outside, that is called the switching element. Some regulators it is inside, so it is preferable that we select regulators who have these FETs that are internal, the switching elements internal to the IC, so that the circuit complexity will be lesser. But still switching regulator compared to LDO is a costly solution. And another point is LDO involves a pass element, there isn't any switching involved, whereas in switching regulator there is a PWM based switching that happens on the output node. And then because there is a switching involved, definitely it happens at a frequency and then specific PWM frequency and then specific duty cycle. So there is some amount of EMI that could be generated out of the circuit. So entirely depends on how efficiently we do the PCB layout. So switcher is a source of EMI, whereas LDO you do not have that EMI because there isn't any switching involved. Now coming to the space wise, so definitely switcher occupies more space, we have seen from the initial slides, whereas LDO occupies lesser space. Even if you see the packages that are involved with switcher and LDO, you can without any external components, we mean to say, if you take a just LDO IC and then a switcher IC, the switcher IC would definitely look bigger than the LDO IC because of the complexity of the circuit and then the heat dissipation that is required. And with the LDO, you can work with LDO only with the small difference between the input and the output. So what we mean by small difference between the input and output is, example, if I have a 5 volts input and I need to get 3.3 volts output at example 1 amp, so the difference between 5 and 3.3 is 1.7, and then if it is 1 amp is the output, you get a power of 1.7, power dissipation 1.7 watt in the series pass element, that means in the LDO finally. So as the input voltage increases, the power that is dissipated, the voltage differential between input and output increases, and the power dissipated in the series pass element increases because it's a directly related. Now if you take the switcher switcher, because of the switching, it is switching that is involved, where it does on and off, there is a large voltage differential that is allowed between input and output. So to summarize this point, if you take a LDO, you cannot use an LDO with a huge difference between input and output, whereas switcher is used for such operation. So one thing you have to remember here is, while in the block diagrams and all, we talked only about one aspect of switching regulator, which is a buck regulator. There are others like buck boost regulator, buck boost regulators. So we just wanted to give an example. Those are the other categories of the switching. And then the other difference is suitable for small load currents with heat sink. So now basically if you want to use this LDO and you want to use it with a specific load current, so even though the load current increases a little, example, when we took that 5 to 3.3 volt conversion of LDO with a 1.7 volt drop across the series element with 1 amp current, that means 1.7 watt of heat that need to be dissipated across this regulator. So in this case, basically you need a heat sink to dissipate that 1.7 watt to bring the heat out of that IC. So we have several videos in our channel on how the power calculations are done, so you can just have a look at it. And then even with little higher load currents, because of the switching that is involved, we can use a switcher without a heat sink for the same current of the LDO. Example, if we are talking about 1 amp, the same switcher with 5 to 3.3 volt conversion and 1 amp can be used without a heat sink. And definitely LDO, because of the power that is being dissipated, it has a lower efficiency, whereas switchers can have higher efficiency. And these days switchers are available with more than 97% of efficiency also. Even if you use a 90% of efficiency with medium load currents, I think it's a suitable switcher that can be used. So considering the battery operated environments and all, we have to use the higher efficiency switchers. So that's another point of discussion. And then LDO can be used for narrow voltage ranges. So narrow voltage ranges, we meant like, again, the differential between the input and the output. That's what the low dropout meant here. So very low drop between the input and output is beneficial for an LDO, whereas switcher can operate at a higher voltage differences as well. Like example, if you take a 12 volts input and if you want to convert it to 3.3 at 1 amp, switcher is the best solution to go ahead in those scenarios. So considering all these, we can understand that there is a trade-off between cost, trade-off between the space, and then trade-off on the actual requirement which you need to take, and then considering these trade-offs, come up with a final solution for your boards. So very easy to understand this. Specifically, engineers struggle to read the data sheets. So if you go through one data sheet and do a design, complete scratch to the end design of a simple power supply, I think all these points what we have been talking here would be covered, and there are many power supply aspects that can be learned through this. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Please let us know if you have any questions on this video. Like our video and let us know your feedback. Thank you.